going to look at my data as we go along, see how I'm doing as I play each shot, and see if we're playing to that, and see if we can make our 3 pars on the holes. So we're going to play a par 5, followed by a par 3, followed by a par 4. Let's see how we get on. So par 5 to start with. Distance is, let's just have a look at it, 517 yards off the back tee here. And for a scratch golfer, this is an opportunity, probably about a 1 in 10 chance I'd birdie it. But the other 90% of the time, I'm probably going to make a steady par on this hole. So let's see what happens. As we do with all our videos, keep going through your routine. Find your line, dog leg here, slightly round from right to left. So I'd like to hit it over the tree in front of me with a little soft draw. We're looking for a drive, if we can get it, around that 250s, 260 mark. That's what we'd look at as a par shot for a scratch golfer. Should be okay. It's a little bit right of where I want to be. But I think we've got the distance. Let's go and find out what we've got. So I've got to where my tee shot ended up, and the wind's just pushed me a little bit further right than I thought, and it's made a change to how I'm going to have to play this hole. But the key thing is it's a par 5. I know from this position, if I can put the ball down the fairway somewhere, I can leave myself probably about 100, 110 yards into the green, and I'll back myself to put that on the green and still get out of here with a par. If we looked at my data, I've hit the tee shot about what I said, 250, but because I've gone into the rough, it stops me going for the green. Amazingly, the green is over there. If I'd been a little bit to the left, I would have had enough time to get the ball up and over the trees, but in this situation, I can't. So sometimes you just have to realise, yeah, course management's really important. Don't try and be too greedy with the shot. I'm just going to here just take a simple 7-iron, just put it down the fairway, shot maintain, and we talked about that in one of my other clips. I don't really want to hit it the distance that I would like to out of the rough, 150, because I'll run out of fairway. So I'm looking for a shot around about 120. Little bit of limbs of tree here. So I'm just going to take a 7-iron and I'm just going to pop it down there, feel like a 3/4 swing, put myself in position to have a chance to get the next one on the green. Remember, this is a hole, 90% of the time I should be parring it for my level. So on this occasion, because the drive wasn't the best result, I've just had to take my medicine. I've put it down the fairway. I've given myself a good chance to get that ball on the green. Never know, if I hit it close enough, I might still have that 10% chance of making my birdie. But let's go and have a look at the third shot, see if we can get it on the green. So some good course management on the second shot. It's put me in a position here. I've got exactly, pretty much bang on 100 yards, fractionally downwind. Flag isn't positioned too badly. I like it slightly on the right side. Because that sort of opens up the green a little bit for me. And just again, look at my data, 100 yards for a scratch golfer. This is a shot on average, put it about 25 feet away from the hole. So if I can do that, pretty much guarantee my 2-putt. As we said on the tee, it's a 90% chance of par. I'm pretty much where I want to be. As I said, 10% chance I could birdie it. So I would be normally, if I'd like to be in it, 30, 40 yards closer would give me that greater chance. But the tee shot didn't give me that chance. But I haven't compounded the problem. I'm now giving myself a good opportunity from here. So let's see if we can put it on the green. Okay, ball a little bit above my feet, flag on the right side. I'm just going to aim a little bit right edge of the green and let the conditions do the work for me. Just nice, confident gap wedge. Let's hope we get a good bounce. Yeah, we're on the green. We'll go and have a look, see what we've got. So really happy with the shot into the green from 100 yards. I've pretty much got my distance control right. So again, that gives me a bit of confidence. Down, slightly downwind, gap wedge, nice solid strike. I know it's going to go 100 yards. Let's see how far we've ended up from the hole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 paces. So about 20 feet. Now, we wanted to be, if we could, to have that chance of maybe getting our birdie, we want to be probably about 15 feet away. So we're only 5 feet out. So even after a poor drive, we've managed the game really, really well. And we're now in a position that gives us an outside chance. This is probably a 25-footer, is the average 2-putt. I've probably given myself just a 5% chance I'm going to hole this. I think that's the important thing to understand. When you look at the top players, they're not holing putts regularly from 20-25 feet. It's the winners of each tournament. So as a scratch golfer, I'm not at their level. If I can two-putt this, get my par, I'll take it. Okay, so I've read the putt. It's going to break a little bit from right to left. There's a little bit of a shoulder there. So let's see if we can get that on that line and see if we can get the pace right. And again, I'll be quite happy. 2 putts, move on to the next hole. Oh, I just need a little bit more. I think if I'd hit that foot further, we'd have had a chance to nick the birdie. But as we said at the start of the hole, 90% chance of parring it. It's exactly what I've done. I'm playing my scratch golf. Quite happy with that. Move on to the next. See if we can make another par down the long par 3, 200 yarder. Let's see what we can do. So we've arrived on our second hole, the 191 yard par 3. And what we've got to look at again, just look at my data. When I did my par 3 12 shots of golf, we talked about on average what you're going to score. And 180 yard par 3 for a scratch golfer is actually a hole you're probably going to bogey 1 in 5. So this is a shot really, if I get this anywhere on the green, remember you're nearly 200 yards away, that's an exceptional shot. Just imagine you being at a tournament and you watch someone like Rory knock it from 200 yards onto the green, 20-25 feet away, you'd be giving him a round of applause. So this is a real important shot, even as a scratch golfer. If you put it on the green, fantastic. Give yourself a little bit of a sort of, I call it that inner internal pat on the back. Realise that's a good shot. Okay, so we're looking at the flag. Where are we today? Flag's cut a little bit on the left side. So sensible shot here is to go straight in the middle of the green. If I do that, don't get near that flag that could, if I miss the green left, give me an awkward little chip. So I'm just going to play. I've got my hybrid. It's 191 yards. Fractionally into the wind. We came downwind into the last green. We're going into the wind, going back this way. Let's see what we can do. Well, I don't think I can strike a hybrid any better than that. Let's just hope we pick the right club. Yeah, I think we're somewhere on the green, which I'm happy with that result. As we said, this is a hole I'm going to probably bogey 1 in 5, hitting the green. Hopefully that 80% chance I'm going to par it. Let's see if we can do that. Let's go down and have a look at the putt. So I'm nicely on the green. We're sitting at the front edge there, and as we said, it's nearly a 200 yard par 3. Anything on the green would be good. As a scratch golfer, this is a 20% chance I'm going to bogey it. 25 feet is my average 2-putt as a scratch golfer. If I start to go to 35 feet, we're now looking maybe a 10-15% chance I could 3-putt it. We'll pace that out in a minute, but just going to talk a little bit about green reading. And I always read my greens from the hole back to the ball. And the reason for that is I want to know what the ball's going to be doing as it runs out of pace around the hole, because that's when it's going to turn the most as the ball loses its energy. So I'm just looking at it. It's quite a flat green here, the 17th, so the 8th here. We're playing it as the 17th hole, but the 8th green. So there's not a lot of turn on it from wherever you are, unless the flag is put right on the very edges. So not a lot of turn, but I'm reading the low point is here. Okay, and there are lots of different ways to do that. What I personally do is I just sort of imagine if the hole was filling up with water, where that water would run. I feel like it's going to run to me. You'll see golfers now out there using what we call aim point, which is they're sort of straddling the line and they're sensing where their weight's going. So I tend to read it at the hole, think of my water idea, and then I'll walk back to the ball. I'm getting a sense of feeling as I walk back to that ball. Am I walking uphill, downhill? Is the slope pushing me one way or the other? We'll pace it out. We'll see how far we've got to go. So around 17 paces. So we're talking 35 feet. So that's a pretty par shot. That's on average what I should have done off the tee. So really happy with that. I've got that image that the ball's going to move a little bit left. So if we can get a 2-putt from here, we've picked up a little bit of a shot. Remember, we had a 10% chance of birdie there. We've got a 20% chance of bogey here. Get 2 pars, we're about where we should be. Like that line. Oh, just caught the edge of the hole. Really good effort. Nearly gained a shot there with that putt. Let's see if we can still get our par. and walk on to the next hole in a happy position. Yep, so got a 3. As I said, slight gain on that hole because of the length of the hole. 2 pars though, great. Let's go play the par 4, see if we can finish with a par, or maybe a little bit better. So we've come to our 3rd hole of our 3-hole challenge. We've played the par 5, we've played the par 3, here's our par 4. This is a 330-yard par 4. And again, if I look at my data, this is a hole on average. A scratch golfer will probably birdie this 10% of the time and par it the rest of the time. So amazingly, I didn't realise this when I sort of set out today this was going to be the case. But if I walk off here level par for these 3 holes, that's about what I should do. Because as we said, the par 5 there was a 10% chance of making a birdie. The par 3 was a 20% chance of making a bogey. And here's our 10% chance of making a birdie. So they sort of level each other out. So if I make 3 pars, really, really happy with that. Pretty straight hole, this one, straight up there. We're looking really, I'm going to take driver because I feel I want to get it up there and leave myself some sort of wedge into the green. Could play a little bit less, but I want to give myself that opportunity. So I like this hole for me. It gives me, there's a tree up there. I can use that as my guideline. If I can get a little soft draw off that tree, should be perfect. So it suits my eye nicely, this hole. Let's make a good swing. All depends on the firmness of the fairway. I've hit that perfectly up the left side because it's quite a hard fairway. Sometimes it kicks into the rough. We'll have a look when we get up there, but really happy with that strike. Giving myself a chance if I can get that close, maybe to get our birdie, but pretty good chance I'm going to make my par, which I'll be happy with 3 pars. So I've got to my 2nd shot, really happy with where it ended up. As I said, felt I'd hit a good one. The fairway didn't push it down into the rough. Just to the right of me is the tree I was talking about. I know that's 90 yards to the middle of the green. The flag is cut just a little bit forward of that. So I think I've got about 90 yards. A little bit of breeze. Remember, we were downwind on the pitch into our 1st hole, the par 5. This one's a little bit crosswind. So I think I can hit a similar power shot because I'm not going to get the gain from the wind. It's going to push me across. Flag cut a little bit on the left side, which is quite a nice place. If I go at that, even if I get it a little bit wrong to the left, there's a bit of a bank, it might push me down to the hole. Okay, goal is, this is an opportunity, really, can I get it close and make a birdie? Distance looks good. Let's hope we've got that correct. If we have, I've probably got about a 10-footer, I reckon, to make my birdie. Good opportunity. Let's see if we can go and do it. So we've arrived on the green and we can see my ball just behind. We'll have a little pace out to see where I went. I thought it was going to be about 10 feet away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So probably near 12, 13 feet. Hit a lovely shot in, but it must have spun a little bit down the slope and we've ended up just falling off the edge of the green. So, okay, I'm all right with that. As a scratch golfer, people think, yeah, you've got to be sticking it right next to the flag. 10 feet away, 12 feet away as we've got there. It's an opportunity to still make a birdie, but again, shouldn't walk off here worse than my par. Parred the previous 2 holes, quite happy with that, but it's an opportunity. Looking at the hole, having a little read of it, and my imagination of where the water would run, it looks like it's running straight to my ball. So this is now very much me just saying, look, commit to the line, dead straight at it. Let's see if we can make a putt. We've got about 15 to 18 inches of fringe grass, but it's cut nicely, so I'm not really going to read too much into that. But what I am going to look at, you can see as I'm standing here now, I'm a lot taller, so my right foot here is going to be a little bit higher. So I'm going to just do a few practice swings just to get the feel, so I'm making a nice smooth stroke, because this is a little bit unnatural. This isn't normal. So don't just walk up and hit it. Find a feeling. You go, right, now I feel I can make the stroke that I want. So we're going to read this dead straight. Let's see if we can roll it in for our birdie. Okay, just broke a touch, but there we are. We're within 9 inches of the hole. Let's finish it off for my par. And there we go. So, as a scratch golfer, I've just done through those 3 holes I was meant to do. I've parred the lot. Now, you might have looked at some of the shots and you may have thought that they should have been a bit closer to the hole, maybe the tee shot on the par 3. But realise what you're looking to do as a scratch golfer is keep that ball in a good position up near the hole. My drive wasn't great on the first, but what I didn't do was try and be clever. I just put myself down the fairway, backed myself from a wedge distance to put it on the green, got my 2 putts. My hybrid on the par 3 was good. 35 feet away, again, backed myself to 2 putt it. Really nice drive here on the last. Good opportunity, maybe make a birdie. Didn't quite get it. But the importance is, I'm going to walk off onto the next hole thinking, great, I'm level par. That's what I should be doing. I'm giving myself a chance there. If I keep giving myself chances, I'm probably going to make some putts. But I know a lot of golfers who'd look at those shots and be a little bit frustrated with them and not be happy with them. And that takes it into the next hole, and that's where you'll probably start making bogeys. If you keep giving yourself chances, you will take them. But what I was looking for, 3 holes, and I made 3 pars. I'm playing scratch golf. I hope you enjoyed those 3 holes with me. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I look forward to seeing you soon.